me begin by thanking the Minister and also everybody else who's involved in creating such a dynamic, interactive forum. My name is Ladan Mahabadi, and I'm the VP External at the Postgraduate Student Society at McGill. And I'm also a PhD student in computer science at McGill. And my research field is cryptography, and particularly multimedia encryption. So given my background and my role, I'd like to bring your attention to copyright issues in research and what is exactly involved. My understanding is that we're not here today to question or devise any dramatic existential changes to copyright, but rather to devise pragmatic solutions that create a fair, balanced environment for everyone to work and to produce and to create. Now, given that, we have to look at the research aspect of it as well and look at the exceptions that are provided in the bill. As it stands, the research exceptions are quite restrictive, and they need to be further relaxed to provide an environment where academia can actually look and further research and properly research. And by proper research, I mean giving exact rights and proper rights to whoever is the author or the producer of the work. To this extent, if you were to look at technical fields such as computer science or engineering, further attention has to be provided to non-infringing circumventive tools and technology that are out there. And to this extent, my understanding is that a lot of students feel that what is out there right now is quite restrictive again. And in order to properly research how you can provide a fair, balanced environment, you have to know what the tools are, you have to know what the technologies are, and you have to devise proper, fair implementations and algorithms. As it stands, rights management software and algorithms are quite poorly done in a sense that they can be broken, they're not effective, and they're not absolute. Perhaps providing proper provisions should also look at not only relaxing these, but also looking at models that provide a fair, balanced way of providing an equilibrium between creativity, fair use, as well as coming up with a proper method of monetizing quality content. And to this, it seems to me that you have to provide a very clear, open access to academics and researchers to look at what is out there and come up with new techniques and new models. Thanks.
You talk about looking at other models. I assume you're talking about international models. Are there a couple that you suggest we should look at and look at incorporating, and a couple that we should absolutely not look at and look at incorporating?
The ones that I've looked at are quite general, and I've looked at WIPO, but the models I was referring to in particular are new models that we come up with. There are a lot of models right now circulating in computer science and academia in general that look at trying to monetize different qualities or different levels of qualities of multimedia, for example, that everyone would have access to a base model, a base quality that is not so great. And if you were to get higher quality or higher access or better quality and access, either way, that you'd have to pay for it. Given that file sharing is so ubiquitous, I don't think you can ever go back to a system that P2P doesn't happen. I think new models have to be devised where you come up with a way of monetizing what is out there right now and utilize that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nicole, online?
Yeah, so this is a comment from Dennis from Toronto. I work in the music business, and we so need copyright laws to not only protect the artist, of which Canadian artists are equal on the world stage, except on the copyright laws, but this also goes much deeper as it affects my job as a pre-production coordinator. So you see, it's not just the artists that hurt, but the regular working person. I just want to do a job I love and take care of my family. It has been said that the music industry are fat cats. I assure you this is not true. I am far from getting rich, but I do love my work. And without this protection, what future is there for me in the job I love so much? Not to mention, to make it simple, it is stealing. If I go into a store and taking what I want, that is stealing. Why is this not? Please protect the little guy as well.
Thank you. Micro numéro 4, s'il vous plaît.
Microphone 4.
Ben, I'm a software engineer. I'm here representing myself. Thank you very much, Minister, for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to address the question of theft that was just brought up in this and the first internet comment. no one will disagree that it's theft if someone comes into my house and takes my television set and makes off with it. My privacy has been violated, and a possession of mine has been taken away. But if I were to copy a song, I haven't violated anyone's privacy, and I haven't, in fact, taken anything away from them because they still have it. And now I have it too. So I think it's important to understand that also that without authors we don't have any culture, but without copying we don't have culture either, because knowledge needs to be disseminated to reach other people. So culture is authorship and copying. And on that note, I would like to say that, please, Minister, don't blindly follow in the footsteps of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And please instead look at what your citizens are doing and structure the laws appropriately. We have a new tech-savvy youth, a whole generation of youth that are busy copying and want the right to copy, so that they can have as much access to their culture as they can. And let's not criminalize them all. If all Canadians are criminals, then there's something wrong with our legal system. I believe that so long as the authors are able to make a living, that's what's important, not whether or not they are able to get money from every copy that is made of their works. So on that note, please expand fair use so that all non-commercial copying of copyrighted materials is a valid use of that material. Obviously, if I were to take someone else's song and start selling it, I can see how people would get very upset, and this is probably wrong by anyone's definition. But if I were to copy a song simply to listen to it, I don't see what the criminal activity is or why it would be considered theft. And then what we can see basically paying for a work to an artist as a voluntary contribution to that artist, encouraging them to continue their work, rather than an extortion, which is what would happen more with digital locks and digital rights management.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for those comments. Pass it now to le micro numéro 1, s'il vous plaît.
Merci.